Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to talk about the official completion of the swap deal between Pjanic and Bartomeu. We are also going to be talking about Quique Setien and his potential departure from FC Barcelona. And in the end, we are going to be talking about the pre-match preview between Atletico Madrid and FC Barcelona. So we are first going to talk about Pjanic and Bartomeu. So it is official that Barcelona and Juventus have reached an agreement for Pjanic, which will be 60 million euros plus 5 million in variables. The contract will be until 2024 and Pjanic will have a buyout clause of 400 million euros. Pjanic is officially a Barcelona player. And as for Bartomeu, he is a Juventus player. They did sell Bartomeu for 72 million euros plus another 10 million euros in variables. And it is all complete. Barcelona made it official and Juventus made it official. And so Arthur was seen on the pitch today. He did gather all of the players to come together and really discuss on what he had to go through, how he felt throughout this whole process. And it says here, according to Giacomo from Tutto Mercato, he said Arthur gathered his colleagues and had explained his transfer to Juventus today. He also has promised to give everything he has for FC Barcelona until the end of the season. And just imagine what Bartomeu had to go through. Just imagine what he's thinking and what he thinks about this whole situation, because he would have never thought that he was going to leave FC Barcelona this early. We didn't even think we were going to see Bartomeu leave this early, at least maybe 2 years later, but not this early. And honestly, this is going to go down as one of the worst and most ludicrous deals Barcelona have ever made within these past 10 years. And this is something that not even Barcelona fans are saying. This is something that fans from Juventus, Inter Milan, City, United, every team, every fan out there is talking about this deal and how ludicrous and crazy this deal really is. And this begs an important question, right? Does this transfer of Pjanic mean the end of Ivan Rakitic? Does this basically mean that Barcelona are for sure going to sell Rakitic? Because I don't see Rakitic, Vidal, Pjanic, Riqui Puig, De Jong, Busquets all here in the next season. This transfer could also mean that Vidal could be leaving this summer. And most importantly, what could this transfer mean for Riqui Puig? Could Pjanic's move to FC Barcelona take away the minutes of Riqui Puig? And I don't want Pjanic to look like a bad guy. That's not my intentions. I don't want to say that this Pjanic move to FC Barcelona is bad because Pjanic is a bad player and he's going to take away the minutes from all these other players. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Barcelona brought Pjanic in and switched out the wrong player. And again, Pjanic is a great player. He is going to do wonders for FC Barcelona. He is world class. I am so excited to see him play on the pitch, but we did let go of the wrong player, and this is not by no means a long-term signing. And so with this swap deal, Barcelona did pocket around 12 to 15 million euros, which was the whole idea for this club. They did want to gain more cash for this summer for whatever reason, right? But look, we know that this swap deal only happened because Barcelona's intentions were to make more financial profit. And that is what makes so many Barcelona fans so furious and frustrated. And look, we're just gonna have to deal with it. This deal was done and we're just gonna have to look forward and try to see how we can benefit from having Pjanic in FC Barcelona. And just so you guys know, Bartomeu and Pjanic are going to continue to play with their respective clubs. They are not going to join their new clubs until their season is over. And like I said before, this deal is done. We're gonna have to move on and accept the fact that Bartomeu is not going to be with us anymore after this season. And so let's just study and look at what Pjanic can bring to this club. We will be studying this player in the near future as we finish the end of this season, and hopefully Pjanic can bring great success to FC Barcelona. Now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Quique Setien. And so there has been a lot of fire going around Quique Setien's name very recently, and I'm going to give you guys a background story on what's been going on. So there has been this video that has emerged in the social media area, and they were showing that Messi was drinking water. We were in a cooling break, and then Sarabia was trying to tell Messi some instructions, but it seemed like Messi was ignoring his instructions. He looked like he did not want to hear it. He looked like he did not want to be bothered, and in the background we can see Setien just scratching his head, having no idea what he should do next. People did claim that Setien did look a little bit intimidated, like he was afraid afraid to actually say something or just looked completely lost because he did not know what to do in this situation. And so I'm not going to focus too much on Sarabia and Lionel Messi. I think that that situation is going to be fixed. I also don't think that that situation is that important because we all know the media likes to make things look a certain way. So I'm not going to go too into that. I want to focus on Quique Setien because ever since that video did emerge, multiple sources have claimed that Quique Setien could lose his job and part ways with FC Barcelona this summer. And look, of course we are going to hear this because we have seen Setien not being able to handle so many egos and so many big time players. And then looking at the results of what Quique Setien did bring to FC Barcelona so far, of course we are going to hear the club wanting to let go of Quique Setien. And so according to Ruben Uria stating Setien will not continue at Barcelona next season. The board has decided to stop counting on him once he finishes the course. The locker room don't understand his statements nor his instructions. The club believes that hiring Setien was a big mistake. And so look, here's the punchline. Barcelona is going to part ways with Quique Setien if the performances in La Liga and the UEFA Champions League do not improve. And that really boggles my mind, right? Because where was this decision making and this type of energy when Valverde was with FC Barcelona? Where was this decision making when Valverde did lose against Liverpool at Anfield? Where was this decision making when we did play against Roma? Where was this decision making when we did lose against Valencia in that final? None of that type of energy was there when Valverde continued to flop in those big stages. Because if Barcelona were bringing this energy like they are bringing to Quique Setien towards Valverde, Valverde would have left 2 years ago or maybe 1 year ago. And so look, I think that the board are managing this whole thing like how they manage the players. They're looking for quick solutions. They're saying, okay, look, if Quique Setien cannot fix this, we're going to look at other alternatives. If Xavi can't come in, let's look at Garcia Pimienta. That's the exact same system they are running with the players. They're saying, okay, if we can't work out anything with Dembele, let's bring in Coutinho. If Coutinho can't fix anything, let's bring in Griezmann. And so it's just this short-term thinking from this board is really not going to help this club. And for them to let go of Quique Setien this fast, it just shows that they are very impatient and they are just looking to see what sticks. And again, that is not the way to run a club. So do I believe it is the correct decision to let go of Setien this early? No, Barcelona and the board are completely wrong. They haven't even given Quique Setien a proper season or a full transfer window where Setien could potentially say, okay, I would like to see these type of players. These are the type of players that can fit well in my system. And we also have to take into account that this pandemic did come through in March, and so Setien literally had no time to have a full proper season. And for the board to go up to Quique Setien and say, where are the results, makes absolutely no sense to me. And look, I understand that Quique Setien is not known to handle big egos, big time players who have literally won everything over the past 10 years, and players who do have a lot of power in the locker room. But again, you have to give this whole situation more context. You have to understand the situation that Setien has been put in. And so the club should really ask themselves and say, look, maybe we have put Setien in a tough spot. Maybe we haven't made the correct transfer decisions. Because look, Barcelona right now do not have the correct players, nor do they have the depth in this squad. We have to remember that Quique Setien was put in a situation where we only had about 14 to 15 players. There were so many players that were injured to the point where we did have to bring in a player like Martin Braithwaite in February. And that is only because the club lacks a real project. They cannot manage this team well. And that really did show earlier this season. And for them to pick us at the end and ask, why are you not bringing us results, is basically the board pointing fingers. They don't want to blame themselves. They don't want to have self-accountability. And if we are going to judge Setien's season so far, over these past 6 months, defensively, we have been better. We have improved. We are much more athletic. We can see the intensity on the field. The only thing that has been missing was that Quique Setien has not brought up the ability to be lethal in front of this goal. Yes, Barcelona have dropped their game when it comes to scoring goals compared to Valverde, and because of that, we were unable to pull off important wins when we really needed it. And there has been points where we did come off a game where we did have around 70% possession, yet we were only able to score 1 goal or maybe sometimes no goals at all. That game against Granada where we did have about 78% possession and only won 1-0 at the Camp Nou was basically an early sign of what's to come with Quique Setien's FC Barcelona. But then again, we cannot blame Quique Setien fully. The only reason why we were not able to be completely lethal in front of that goal is because we brought in the wrong players and there were multiple players injured injured and on the sidelines, which is why I say bring in that transfer window, bring in the correct strikers, have Quique Setien have more control on who he wants to bring in, and let Setien work his magic with FC Barcelona. Then we can judge if Setien is the right coach for this club. And so if Setien does leave, right, let's just say Barcelona says, no, I'm not going to keep Setien. I do not care. I want results now. I don't see Xavi coming in. I think Xavi is going to reserve himself until 2021. He does not want to make Bartomeu and this board look good. And that's if Xavi does succeed with FC Barcelona in the first year. We know Xavi's intentions and it's very clear. And so that only means one thing, is if Setien does leave this club, we might potentially see Garcia Pimienta coach FC Barcelona next season. And it says here, according to Javi Miguel, Garcia Pimienta is the man chosen by Barcelona to end the season as manager of the first team if Setien stumbles in La Liga. And to be honest, if we are going to have Garcia Pimienta as the coach of FC Barcelona, I would not mind that. He is a guy who is very, very familiar with the Barcelona system because he does coach Barcelona B. He has the experience. He would know exactly how he would want the Barcelona team to really run. And as of now, Garcia Pimienta is currently in negotiations to renew his contract. It is edging closer and closer that he will renew. And again, I would not mind having Garcia Pimienta as our coach until June 2021. Now, they have also stated if Barcelona drop points in the coming games against Atletico and Villarreal, then Setien's future will be in the air. And that's going to lead me to the last topic, which is going to be the pre-match preview, because I believe that this game against Atletico Madrid is going to be so important that I really do think that this is going to decide Setien's future, and it's going to decide if we are going to win the league or not. So Barcelona will be playing against Atletico Madrid tomorrow, which will be the toughest match yet before this season does end. This has to be a must win. Barcelona has to win in this match. There should be no excuses, and Barcelona need to bring their A game, because if we lose or tie, the title is going to go to Real Madrid, unless Madrid lose all of their games going forward, but I highly doubt that. Barcelona need to do their part, and we need to win every game going forward. And we know Atletico Madrid. We know they're going to come in very prepared. They are going to come with a specific game plan, and we know that Atletico Madrid is going to try and retain that third place spot because they are 4 points clear from Sevilla, and so they really do want to hold that spot. And knowing Atletico Madrid and looking at their stats so far this season, they are the second best defensive team in this league, and I think that they're going to use that as their greatest advantage to really have Barcelona drop points. They are going to defend their way in the Camp Nou, and that's going to be the biggest problem Barcelona is going to have in tomorrow's match. Barcelona need to score, they have to win, meaning that Setien's front three choice has to be good, and it has to be the correct front three with the correct tactics. So whoever that front three is going to be, they have to be on top form. There is no excuses. And if we look at the squad list here, we can see that De Jong is not in this squad list because he is currently still injured. We can see that Busquets is back and Sergio Roberto is back from an injury. And so besides De Jong, every player is going to be participating in this match. Because of how important this match is and what this means to so many people, Barcelona is going to come with full force, and Setien knows that. So this is the lineup that I do expect Setien to pull out. We are going to see Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal. Our defensive line is going to be Semedo, Piquet, Lenglet, and Alba. And our midfield, because we are not going to have De Jong, we are going to have Busquets, Vidal, and Arthur Melo representing our midfield. And as for our front three, I do believe that we are going to see Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, and Ansu Fati playing on that left wing. And if you guys are wondering where's Riqui Puig, I do see Riqui Puig playing in this match. There's no such thing as Riqui Puig not getting any minutes anymore. I think Riqui Puig has graduated from that. I think that we are going to start seeing Riqui Puig really start playing in these important matches, especially against tough teams like Atletico Madrid. And so I do expect Riqui Puig to come in for maybe either Arthur or Vidal, maybe around the 60th minute. And then I also do expect to see Rakitic and Martin Braithwaite to come in later in this match. So that'll be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. I know that it is very overwhelming and very hectic, but that is what's currently going on in Barcelona today. And that will be it for the pre-match preview. I hope you guys do like it. This is a video that I have been testing to put in the pre-match preview and the daily Barcelona news together in one video. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.